I'm Allison Alexander, and I'm a Children's Law Center board member. I'm so proud to stand here with all of you tonight this evening, supporting an organization that is so close to my heart, and an organization that is doing so much to impact lives in our community. But before we get going, I would be remiss if I didn't offer a special welcome to a few people. Chief Judge Anita Josie Herring, Judge Henry Green, sorry about that, and Judge Carmen McLean. And if you're here, thank you. Since I've joined the board, I have really just been in awe of Children's Law Center's unwavering commitment to helping turn the tide for children who, through no fault of their own, face challenges that most of us could never, ever imagine. It really is incredible work. But this work definitely takes a village. So I want to kick off our program by thanking the partners who also stand committed to helping children soar. First, tonight's success wouldn't be possible without the hard work of our host committee and my fellow board members, led by Board Chair Chip Magid, who's standing here to my right. Can you all raise your hands, host committee and board members, so we know who you are? Thank you so much. Together, we've raised an incredible $1.5 million for Children's Law Center. Woo-hoo! Next, I'd like to recognize the many sponsors you'll see listed on the banners and video monitors around the room. Our deep appreciation goes to Latham & Watkins, Covington & Burling, and Skadden, our visionary sponsors. All three have been longtime and leading supporters of Children's Law Center. And a special thank you as well to our pioneer donors. Please hold your applause till the end. We have a few. They are Aiken Gump, Arnold & Porter, Kroll & Mooring, Denton's US, Finnegan, Mayor Brown, and Steptoe and Johnson. Thank you so much. And last, but absolutely not least, are those who work with DC kids and families every day to pull together all of the puzzle pieces, our Children's Law Center team. If you haven't had a chance to talk with Children's Law Center staff, I urge you to find them in the room. They'll be wearing yellow staff badges on their name tags. There's no group of people more tenacious or more talented or who better understand how our legal system can serve the needs of the district's children. Truly incredible human beings. Join me now in thanking them. And now we're going to turn to a very special award, and to tell you more about it, I'd like to introduce Children's Law Center's Executive Director, Judith Sandalo.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I better get close to the mic or you won't be able to hear me. And I'm very loud, so people can usually hear me. Children's Law Center, with more than 100 staff, reaches thousands of children and families each year, and tens of thousands more when we advocate for citywide solutions. One way we expand our reach is through a pro bono network of more than 500 committed lawyers who work at the nation's top law firms, corporations, and government agencies. And each year, we recognize one of our pro bono partners for their extraordinary efforts. Tonight, we're proud to honor Kroll & Mooring, a firm that has been a terrific partner for almost 2 decades. Lawyers from the firm have partnered with us on almost 200 matters, serving as lawyers for children in complex custody disputes and helping to obtain special education services for kids who are struggling to learn. They've also provided wise counsel to us on a wide range of organizational issues. And I can't resist but doing a shout out for Kroll's exceptional pro bono team. Susie Hoffman, Tiana Kroll, and Anita Stephen, where are you? Raise your hands. Yay! And I also want to acknowledge Charlotte Gillingham and Shelley Rosenberg, who provide strategic direction on our advisory board. On behalf of Children's Law Center, I'm pleased to present Crowell & Moring with our 2022 Children's Pro Bono Champion Award. Accepting on behalf of the firm is a member of the management board, Keith Harrison. Did I get the- We'll do one picture.
Well, thank you, Judith. I am honored and humbled to accept this award on behalf of our firm, Crowell & Moring. It's particularly special to be recognized by an organization, an extraordinary organization like the Children's Law Center. It's one of the premier nonprofits, as you all are aware, in this city. And really, it sets as the gold standard for the provision of pro bono legal services in our community. At Crowell, we share the Children's Law Center's commitment to making a positive difference in the lives of children and families fighting against racial injustice and inequity. And in fact, focusing on the needs of children has been part of Crowell's pro bono program from its very inception. We've been proud to stand hand in hand with the Children's Law Center as their groundbreaking medical legal partnership, which is called Healthy Together, has grown and thrived. Not only have we helped parents secure necessary housing repairs to improve their children's health, but we've also had the privilege of providing legal research that's been critical to the Children's Law Center regarding a recent change in special education law, and that helped inform the Children's Law Center's strategy with regard to advocacy on behalf of parents. I want to take a moment to thank you all for being here and the generous support, both in terms of your pro bono support, but also in terms of your extremely generous financial support that helped make the Children's Law Center, help make its work possible, help make its work impactful, and help make its work the type of work that is so important for our community to thrive. Your firms, our firms, the lawyers in this room, and the lawyers who aren't here with us have been taking on pro bono cases that continue to help the Children's Law Center expand its reach. And at Crowell, we've been doing this, as Judith mentioned, for almost 2 decades. And in fact, Charlotte Gillingham, who is a member of the Children's Law Center Advisory Board, took on her first case in 2003. And we have been, a staunch partner with the Children's Law Center ever since. And we're able to use that experience that we've gained over those many decades to help the Children's Law Center fulfill its mission. One last thought before I close. If you've not already volunteered, I encourage you to get involved. Go ahead, get your hands dirty, take on a case. The children's law work is compelling, its mentoring and training is top-notch, and you all in this room and your law firms that you're representing here have the legal talent to make real impact in the lives of children in our community. And I'll just say, there's no greater need and no better reward than helping a child in need. So thank you, Children's Law Center, for this honor.
Turns out Charlotte was like 12 years old when she took her first case. I'm shocked by that. I'm very impressed. For those of you in the room who are not yet working with us, I will echo Keith's plug. Please, we need your help. Nationally and here in our own community, there's been an increased attention to achieving racial justice, and with that, we need access to justice. You can be part of that movement by working with Children's Law Center. Take a case or volunteer with us, and I promise, as Keith said, you will be incredibly well supported. Speaking of volunteers, Children's Law Center is the influential, life-changing organization that it is today, thanks to the vision, generosity, and hard work of more than 60 members of our Emeritus Advisory and Governing Board. Please join me in thanking them for their incredible leadership. You know, being together tonight here and seeing your faces in person, and for once, not through a computer screen, it makes me realize, especially when times are hard, that finding community and purpose and joy are all important to our mental health. Thank you for coming out tonight and making the time to be together with us, and also for joining us to solve the puzzles that lie ahead. Since the pandemic, so many more people understand the importance of children's mental health. Sadly, at Children's Law Center, we've seen the impact of trauma on children's mental and physical health since long before the pandemic. Poverty, racism, and trauma are the biggest barriers that impact the kids that we work with every day. I'm sure each of you can think of someone in your life who has had mental health struggles or struggled to find the supports that they need. I know I can. 25 years ago, my son Antonio came to live with me through foster care. He was 10 years old and had experienced almost every kind of trauma that there is. He was like a volcano. He erupted constantly just from the pressure of trying to hold himself together. And as he hit his teenage years, those eruptions were dangerous. They were dangerous to him, they were dangerous to me. Even as the executive director of Children's Law Center, I had an almost impossible time finding the right support for him. It would take me all night to tell you about his journey, the school suspensions, the 911 calls, even hospitalizations. So I'm going to skip to the end. I did find the right combination of support, and he worked so incredibly hard himself. Today, he's a wonderful father who has the skill to manage his emotions and to prevent the volcano from erupting. And when I hear about the therapists in schools, I think about all the pain that Antonio suffered and how much harm could have been avoided, how much pain he could have avoided if only he'd had that support available to him in his elementary school. You know, every year at our Helping Children Soar benefit, we introduce you to a child we've helped thanks to your support. This year, we're sharing a different kind of story. It's the story of a complex behavioral health system that's vital to the kids we all care about. It's a story of a system that for far too many kids may mean the difference between life and death. It's a system that requires all of us to piece together the solutions. Children's Law Center's pieces are the legal tools and technical expertise that we bring. But the solution also includes the children and families we've worked with over the years, as well as our government leaders. It includes our medical partners, Children's National, Mary Center, Unity, and other healthcare leaders that we work with, MedStar Georgetown and AmeriHealth DC. It includes the many partners and sponsors we've recognized in the program tonight and on the banners around the room. But we still have a lot of pieces that need to come together for it all to work. Frankly, what we need is you. So please turn to the screen and watch to learn more.
Do you see a single puzzle or 1,000 possibilities? For every child or family we meet, we look at the details of their situation to piece together the best solution.
At just 7 years old, Tariq had been separated from his mom twice as she grappled with health issues. Despite a court order, it took 2.5 months before he saw a therapist. Without this critical support, Tariq struggled to understand and address the trauma that came from being separated from his mom and siblings. He worried about his future and began having behavioral problems at school and at home. Although he was only in the 1st grade, he was suspended for fighting. When a kid experiences this type of complex trauma, every hour, every day, every week matters.
Tariq wasn't the only child facing barriers in getting the care he needed. He's one of thousands of children we've met in our 25+ years who struggled to find the right behavioral health services to address their trauma. And when they did find the right program or therapist, the wait times were often unbearably long. We knew that when a child's behavioral health needs are addressed earlier and treated properly, they do better at home and in school, setting them up for success. Like addressing any systemic challenge, we needed to build a foundation for lasting change. We formed and led coalitions, raised awareness, convened allies across the community, brought our legal and advocacy expertise to the table, and built strong partnerships to make it happen. The J. Willard and Alice S. Marriott Foundation, the Bainham Family Foundation, the Howard and Geraldine Pollinger Family Foundation, and more stepped up to help over the past several years. Together, we've achieved many victories. Today, kids can access behavioral health services in every school, through their pediatrician and childcare centers. And we're also continuing to tackle much-needed funding, contractual, and regulatory changes.
Because of these long-term investments, thousands of kids like Tariq can get the care they need at the time they need it. And by removing these gaps, supports can be provided to the whole family, preventing kids from reaching a point of crisis.
Some of the students I meet as a school-based clinician have faced incredibly challenging moments in their young lives, including sexual abuse or traumatic death in their family. Anxiety and depression are consequences of these complex traumas. I've seen how, if untreated, they may lead to a variety of self-destructive behaviors, including feeling hopeless and wanting to die. Trauma can feel isolating and can impact a child's ability to form healthy relationships. With appropriate intervention, children are resilient and can heal and thrive. One of the best parts about my job is walking down the hall and reaching out to kids directly. Being back in school again has already been immensely beneficial. Kids are engaging with peers and staff who care, reducing their isolation, and supporting their healing. Students can easily be identified and connected to mental health treatment or seek support on site. And when kids can access the services they need at school, they tend to continue in treatment, build the skills to advocate for themselves, and flourish. School-based clinicians remove the extra hurdles that get in the way of a kid getting help before they harm themselves or others. And we're reducing the unbearable wait times. We're making sure kids know there's a trusted adult they turn to for help every day.
Ensuring kids have high-quality, timely, and culturally competent access to behavioral health care has always been a complex puzzle to solve, and the pandemic made this crisis worse overnight. Luckily, Children's Law Center has worked for years with our partners to lay a foundation that we can build on to get behavioral supports to more DC kids. Thanks to our supporters and partners, we've invested a lot and we've accomplished a lot, but there's more to do. Will you help us piece together the puzzles that lie ahead?
As the pandemic continues and as kids recover from the setbacks and learning losses of the last couple of years, it's critical for us to continue our behavioral health work. As the video shared, it's a complex puzzle that we've been working to solve for more than a decade. We've had really many successes, but most recently we're proudest that we ensured that there are behavioral health professionals in every single public and public charter school. But we know the road ahead is long. We need everyone's help to get there. One very important partner in our work is the J. Willard and Alice S. Marriott Foundation. For more than a decade, the foundation has been a committed partner in our efforts to improve DC's behavioral health system. On behalf of Children's Law Center, I'm proud to recognize the foundation's investment in improving behavioral health across the DC region by presenting them with our 2022 Helping Children Soar Award. Please turn your attention to the screen for remarks from David Marriott, trustee of the foundation.
Good evening. It's a true privilege for the J. Willard and Alice S. Marriott Foundation to be recognized by Children's Law Center for our commitment to the behavioral health of children in the DC area. On behalf of my entire family, please know how grateful we are for this recognition and how sorry we are not to be able to be with you in person this evening. The foundation is a proud sponsor of Children's Law Center because of their dedication to and vision for transformative change by reforming the behavioral health system for children across DC The approach is big and bold in the way that is absolutely needed. Children's Law Center is one of those rare organizations that understands the big picture. They see the many parts of the behavioral health system and how they connect. At the same time, the organization is unique in its combination of providing direct legal services to families while also advocating for systems change. The direct service experience informs their advocacy work and vice versa. We appreciate their drive to work so closely with and coordinate the efforts of such a wide range of behavioral health partners across the city, from city agencies to community-based groups and healthcare institutions. And we recognize that Children's Law Center not only advocates for the bold changes DC needs, but also lays out concrete steps and supports the practical implementation of those changes. Long before the pandemic began, youth in DC and across the country were experiencing a growing mental health crisis. Our foundation has invested in the mental health and wellness of young children and families for years because we know that it is essential for every one of us to be able to thrive. While we are proud of the work we have done in the DMV and elsewhere, we know there is much more to tackle. The pandemic revealed this growing crisis, made it worse, and frankly, touched all of us in some way personally. On the positive side, more people than ever are paying attention to this issue. The bad news is that the need is greater than any one funder or organization can tackle. We are excited by all that Children's Law Center has accomplished alongside its community members and partners. Your achievements have helped transform the lives of thousands of families and shift how mental health work is done across this city. We're grateful for your leadership and are proud to partner and learn alongside your team.
And here to accept the award in person is Mika Wick, who's the Executive Director of the J. Willard and Alice S. Marriott Foundation.
Let me begin by reiterating David's thanks for this generous recognition. On behalf of the Marriott family and my team at the foundation, we are incredibly honored to be recognized by Children's Law Center in this way and to accept this beautiful award this evening. As David said, the Marriott family has had a long-standing commitment to improving mental health outcomes for young people and their families in the DMV and around the country. The foundation's investments focus on improving health equity and access for young children and their families, college students, and frontline workers such as teachers and medical professionals. Additionally, we work with doctors at some of the country's most prestigious hospitals on related research efforts and clinical trials. I feel incredibly lucky to run an organization that was already committed to behavioral health when the pandemic struck. The pandemic became a dual crisis, an attack on individuals' physical and mental health. And expanding our commitment to this work across the past few years was an absolute no-brainer from where we sat. Judith and her team at Children's Law Center have been longtime friends and colleagues to me and have become important partners and advisors, guiding my entire team as we aim to improve the systems critical to our local efforts. One of Judith's greatest strengths, in my opinion, is that she will often say to me, yes, Children's Law Center is vital, and we could not do this work without partners such as. And she goes on to name the many partners that make this all possible across the DMV. And to me, that is the mark of a leader committed to true systems change. Our investments are significant, but they are not sufficient, and we are grateful to partner with all of you here this evening, as well as so many others. So thank you again for this amazing recognition, and most importantly, thank you to the Children's Law team for your persistence and your unwavering optimism.
Thank you, Mika and David, and congratulations again to the J. Willard and Alice S. Marriott Foundation. Incredible support. We are so grateful. David said it best, Children's Law Center is indeed a rare organization. I know from my years standing with Children's Law Center that far too many children and families struggle with the effects of racism, poverty, and trauma. I'm a bit outraged, to be honest, that our behavioral health system made it so hard for children like Tariq. But on the other hand, I'm also hopeful because Children's Law Center has mapped out a path forward. But none of this will happen overnight, and what stands in the way of strengthening the futures of even more kids is, quite frankly, money. Like David Marriott said, no one funder can do this alone. We need a team. We need all of you. That's why I'm going to ask you right now to add your piece to the puzzle. I'm asking all of you to please dig deep and make a gift tonight before you leave. Many of you are here as guests of someone who has already given generously. Please join them by making a first-time gift tonight. For those of you who have already made a gift, we thank you. And I hope you will also consider giving just a little bit more, maybe even a lot more. And of course, we know what we're doing, so we've made it super easy for you to do that. On the table tents around the room, you can scan the QR code that's on the table tent, or you can text DC Kids 44321. Or if you're a true technophobe, like yours truly here, we have another low-tech option for you. You just look for one of the boxes like this one. Thank you, Brian. On your way out, just drop your name tag in the box that corresponds to the amount that you want to pledge, so that would be the higher box. Our staff will follow up with you tomorrow and arrange for your payment. It really is that simple, and really, guys, just so appreciated. The children and families that Children's Law Center serves would be so grateful for any support that you could give tonight. And as an incentive, we have a group of donors who have agreed to match every gift made or pledged tonight 2-to-1, up to $50,000. So that means if we can raise $50,000 here tonight, you'll create $150,000 of impact to ensure Children's Law Center can keep piecing together all the puzzles that lie ahead. And of course, tonight's venue is all about the wine. So I challenge you to make your gift go even further. When you leave tonight, please pick up a wine bag. There will be outside in the area where you came in. And then the next time you bring wine to a friend's house, pass along the bag and ask them to make a gift to Children's Law Center. I told you we've covered all the bases. And to sweeten that gift even more, their gift, your friend's gift, when you go to that party in a couple of months and give them the wine bag, will be matched dollar for dollar if they donate before the end of the year. So this is amazing. I mean, who doesn't love a wine bag, especially if you put a really nice bottle of wine in it? So let's do this, you guys, and raise even more funds for Children's Law Center. You guys have been great. I know that I've steered you away from mingling for a little bit, but I really do hope that you've learned a lot more about Children's Law Center and the impact that it's having on the lives of children and families in the district every single day, and how you can make a difference. And with that, more wine so I can lose my place. Let's raise a toast to Children's Law Center. And I want to thank you all for your support and for joining us tonight. Thank you so much.